So in today's video, we're going to be discussing the secondary targets on the Cayo Perico Heist, going over how much each one is worth and which ones you should take. Now in total, there are 5 secondary targets. These include cash, weed, cocaine, paintings and gold. So basically, how it works is your bag has a limited capacity, meaning you can only carry so much. So it's important to fill your bag with the most profitable secondary target. So let's get straight into it. First, let's start off with cash. Now, one stack of cash will fill exactly 1/4 of your bag and will be valued at approximately 90k. Now, the reason I say approximately is because it varies every time, ranging from about 88 to 92k. So if one stack of cash fills 1/4 of your bag, you need 4 stacks to fill your bag all the way up, and a full bag of cash will be worth roughly 360k. So now, let's move on to weed. One stack of weed will fill exactly 3/8 of your bag, or 37.5%, and will be valued at roughly 145k. So to fill your bag all the way to the top, you need 2 whole stacks and then 2/3 of another stack. So a full bag of weed will be worth approximately 390k. So the difference between weed and cash really isn't that great, being only about 30,000. Now we're going to move on to cocaine. So one stack of cocaine will fill exactly half of your bag and will be valued at just over 220k. So therefore, if one stack fills half your bag, then obviously you'll need 2 stacks to fill your bag all the way up. And a full bag of cocaine will be worth about 440 to 449k. So clearly, cocaine is much more profitable than weed or cash. And another good thing is that you only need 2 stacks to fill your bag all the way up. Next, we're going to cover paintings. So just like with cocaine, one painting will fill exactly half of your bag. But with paintings, the values do tend to vary quite significantly. So here we already have 54k. And when we take this painting, we now have 250k. So if you minus the 54, you're left with about 196k. Now, on this occasion, we have 221k. And when we grab this painting, we now have 396k. So if we subtract the 221, we're left with about 175. So the value of one painting seems to be anything from about 175 to just under 200k. And finally, we're now going to move on to gold. So one stack of gold will fill exactly 2/3 of your bag and will be valued at approximately 330k. So to fill your bag all the way to the top, you'll need 1.5 stacks of gold, and a full bag is worth around 495k. So clearly then, gold is the best secondary target, but does that mean that all the other secondary targets are not worth it? Well, actually no, because first of all, gold can only be found in the main compound, and to access it, you need 2 people to swipe both the key cards to open the door. Therefore, if you're doing your heist solo, then you won't be able to get any gold. And also, it's completely random how much gold you get each time you do the heist, so on some occasions you might only get 1 stack, which is not enough to fill your bag all the way up. So which other secondary targets should you go for? Well, the next most profitable secondary target is cocaine, which is worth roughly between 440 to 449k. So if you're doing your heist solo or you don't have enough gold to fill your bags, then cocaine is the next best thing. Now, cocaine doesn't spawn within the compound, but instead will be located anywhere around the island. This is the same for weed and cash. So to sum it up, gold and paintings can only be found within the compound, weed and cocaine can only be found on the rest of the island, and cash can be found in both the compound and the island. So to finish things off, I've made a chart which covers all the secondary targets. The first row represents how much one stack is worth and how much space it takes up in your bag. So for example, one stack of cash fills 25% of your bag and is worth approximately 90k. So therefore, a full bag of cash is worth roughly 360k and will need 4 stacks. And for the rest of the targets, the principle is exactly the same, but just different values. So to wrap things up, gold and cocaine are the best secondary targets. Paintings are alright, and weed and cash are not really that worth it in my opinion. So there we have it, we've covered all the secondary targets. Feel free to screenshot this chart if you want, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, feel free to drop a like, and if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.